Welcome to Weight Loss and Wellness for Real, the podcast where people like you get the practical solutions and support you need to permanently lose the physical and mental weight so you can feel better and live the life you want in the body and mind you want. If you're looking to overcome your stress eating, overeating, binging behaviors, and move to a place of freedom with food and your body, you're in the right place. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope you have all had a great week. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. Just a reminder to head to my website and sign up for my free once-a-month newsletter on all things well-being. It's usually pretty short and sweet. There's always a recipe that I include. There are always discount codes that I include of products who sponsor the podcast where you can get some pretty great deals. So head over there, heatherheinen.com. Heinen is spelled Heinen, and sign up for that. There is also a ton of details over there on how I work with clients in my therapy private practice, as well as with my coaching clients for health, weight loss, life coaching, all the things. Today, we are going to talk about the concepts of accepting, forgiving, and excusing overeating, emotional eating, binge eating in more detail. And this is a topic that comes up a lot in my coaching sessions, and I do think it's worth delving into on this podcast because I know so many of you deal with this issue. When it comes to overeating, emotional eating, binge eating, one of the key lessons I emphasize is the importance of accepting binges and overeats when they occur. You know, instead of dwelling on self-criticism and disappointment, it's really vital to acknowledge that these things happen. We forgive ourselves for the mistake and practice self-compassion. So I want you to keep listening because we're going to talk about how this works, why this is so important, because I know right now some of you might be saying, because I hear this all the time, no, I have to be really hard on myself when it happens. I need to kind of punish myself, be mean to myself so that I really understand this is a bad thing to do so I don't do it again. If that's kind of what you're thinking as I talk about these things, then you especially need to keep listening because that really is what will self-sabotage us and what really backfires into more overeating, more binging down the line. So take a listen, learn why that happens, and you're also going to learn how to really go through this process on your own to be able to forgive yourself in order to move on and really curb the binging, overeating for good. Hi, everyone. Guess what? I have two exciting announcements just for you, my listeners. The online course I have been working on creating for months and months is finally up and running, ready for you to check it out. This course is called Mastering Mindful Eating, Overcome Binge Eating, Overeating, and Emotional Eating for Good. If you struggle with binging or overeating and you are not in a space to give time or finances to coaching, this course is perfect for you. Plus, it is at a discounted price until the end of this January, 2024. You keep this course for life. It is self-paced, and I promise you it is practical, meaning you don't just learn about binging and overeating behaviors, you engage in the skills and strategies needed to make the actual behavioral change. It has 3 main modules with multiple lessons, all include lots of examples, tips and tricks to make things simple and clear, and you also get lots of downloadable resources, including the daily planning template I use with my clients, the exact protocol to use after a binge or overeat has occurred to minimize its damage on your body and mind. There's protein cheat sheets, research-based journaling prompts, and literal how-to checklists on the skills you are learning about. This course is really how I move my own clients from binging and overeating habits to stopping for good. It follows all the same ingredients, including CBT and ACT strategies, meaning the cognitive behavioral therapy and acceptance and commitment therapy strategies that I use, and skills training.
remember, I am all about giving you the how to do it. You know, there's lots of other programs out there that tell you to eat healthier and just stop the behavior. I teach you how to actually do it with research-based strategies and skills training and to get that behavior stopped for good. If you're ready to change your life, go to my website at heatherheinen.com. Heinen is spelled H-E-Y-N-E-N, heatherheinen.com. And from the main menu, click courses, and it will get you there. Okay, so that's the first announcement. The second one is that I also have an ebook cookbook that is now available. It's called Protein Forward Easy Recipes. It includes all high protein recipes, including breakfasts and sweet treats that are full of protein. And then there's also a section on lunches and dinners. This ebook cookbook is really meant to be for someone trying to up their protein intake, but need very simple, easy, and fast recipes to make. All the lunch and dinner recipes that I included are made with one pan, one pot, or a slow cooker, and they can be doubled so that you can freeze and save more for later. The sweet treats and breakfast section, that's there to show you that you can still eat all these fun foods. All of these have high protein in them and will help you get to that place of increasing your daily protein intake. Basically, my idea was that if someone wants to regroup this month of January and lose some weight or detox, you could really use this recipe book to make all your meals and snacks from, and you would basically lose weight. So this book is offered. It's about $6. If you want it, go to my website, heatherheinen.com. Again, Heinen is spelled H-E-Y-N-E-N. And under the main menu, you're going to see the word books. Click on that, and it'll take you where you want to go. If you purchase either the course or the cookbook, feel free to message me any thoughts you have on either of those things.
You may naturally feel upset after a binge, which is totally normal. However, how long you remain in this state is within your control. And this is where I really, really talk to my clients about the importance of shifting towards forgiveness, acceptance, and kindness sooner rather than later, because dwelling in disappointment and self-criticism does not serve us well. In fact, it is it really does make us feel worse. And as many of us know, it is what actually leads us to overeat or binge even more, to try to find some comfort when we were feeling these hard feelings. So when we're being so self-negative, when we're criticizing ourselves, when we're doing all those things after a binge or after an overeat, what we really do is create this backfiring action of, because now we're feeling bad because of how we're talking to ourselves, just like someone else were talking to us, we then typically will search out food again and eat even more to try to find some comfort from the harsh self-talk that we're giving ourselves. So it's important really to recognize that self-punishment, like beating yourself up over a binge, does not have a lasting impact on preventing future binges. And in fact, it is what creates even more binging and overeating. The decision to binge or not, or overeat or not, occurs in a separate moment with its own unique set of thoughts and feelings. So have you ever experienced like an urge to binge or overeat and thought, I won't do it this time because, I scolded myself last time? That's not how it works, right? We think it's going to work in those moments right after we've binged and we start scolding ourselves and critiquing ourselves and all the negative things. We think, well, if I do this, then I won't do it next time. But think about this. Ever have you experienced that urge to binge or overeat and thought, I won't do it this time because I scolded myself last time? It's just not how it works. The moments of self-criticism from past binges do not effectively deter future urges. So therefore, there isn't any real benefit to self-blame for binging, for getting into the critique or getting into the beat down with yourself. Instead, I really work with my clients in a process to create acceptance and forgiveness. However, like I had said in the beginning, some individuals really hesitate to embrace this approach. And by the way, that was me for years and years and years and years. people like us kind of fear that accepting and forgiving ourselves might then give us permission to continue binging as if there are no negative consequences. But that's really a misconception. That's not how our human brain works. Even without self-criticism, binge eating, overeating carries its own set of negative consequences. Acceptance and forgiveness does not equate to condoning or approving of the behavior. Okay, so I want you to really think about this. Acceptance and forgiveness of yourself does not mean you are condoning or approving of the behavior. In this context, acceptance signifies acknowledging the reality that you binged. It's sort of like owning it, right? While forgiveness is about being okay with yourself and letting go of that self-anger or that self-hatred. These moments of acceptance and forgiveness are essential for finding peace within yourself and moving forward more quickly rather than remaining upset and possibly punishing yourself in some way, typically punishing ourselves and then, for many of us, using food to try to comfort ourselves in. So you might wonder if forgiving yourself after each binge will lead to a pattern of repeated binging, and the answer is no. Just as self-blame from past binges can increase future urges, the act of forgiving and accepting yourself actually decreases future binges and overeating. What really influences your choices during those future moments is your thoughts and decisions at that particular time. You can choose to confront the discomfort of an urge rather than binge again, or you can choose to excuse and justify binging in response to the next urge. Remember, the moments before and after a binge are distinct, each with its own set of thoughts and decisions. It's really crucial to differentiate between accepting and forgiving yourself and excusing a behavior you know you would want to avoid. They are really, really different. Accepting and forgiving yourself versus excusing a behavior you want to avoid are very different. Choosing forgiveness and acceptance is the healthier option because it enables you to move forward and to do different the next time. Opting for self-compassion and allowing discomfort when facing urges aligns with your long-term goals. Ultimately, you are constantly making decisions about your actions and self-talk. Treat yourself with the same compassion and guidance you would offer to your best friend. I harp on this all the time. And I harp on it all the time because it's really one of those key components that works, that actually has results. So encourage yourself to learn from mistakes and avoid excusing behaviors that don't align with your true desires. There's a big difference, again, between acceptance and forgiveness of self and excusing the behaviors. So making choices that resonate with the way we want to be for ourselves is what encourages the behaviors we actually want to be behaving in around food. So engaging in self-talk that aligns with our supportive, compassionate nature is what makes change around binging, overeating permanent. If you'd advise a friend with understanding and kindness, extend the same to yourself. Okay, short but sweet one, but just a little reminder on the importance of not excusing behaviors, but instead accepting and forgiving yourself. We will talk next time. Thank you for listening. Talk soon. Did you know you can find a lot more help from me on my website? Go to heatherheynen.com. Heynen is spelled Heynen, and get in touch with questions on all things I offer, like online courses for overeating, weight loss, goal attainment, and also my coaching and counseling services. Just a reminder that this podcast represents my own opinions. The content here should not be taken as medical advice. The content here is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult your doctor or healthcare professional for any individual medical questions you may have.